You know, my wife, she was at a point at that time where she was just feeling herself, I guess, or whatever. And I thought we had passed that hill. You know, I thought we done with, you know, have to do it every night or every other night. You know, man, we done with that. And then it came back around. And so I was like, bro, you need a boyfriend. I mean, you know, I ain't there like that no more. So
on this episode of Smoking Ice, we have a comedian who's hilarious. He keeps it clean, he keeps it real, and he brings laughter to everyone he meets.
This episode is going to be funny. It's going to be truth-telling. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be what you need in life.
And you don't just listen. You feel every punchline, comedy, life, and a whole lot of truth. This one you don't want to miss.
Smoking Ice begins now.
Welcome to Smoke and Ice with Kelly and Wayne. This is the podcast where you're not only informed, but entertained. Sit back, relax, and remember, where there's smoke, there's fire. And you can't chill without ice. Now, here are your hosts, Kelly Allen and Wayne McCullers.
Today's bourbon, Maker's Mark.
Maker's Mark is known for its smooth and approachable style.
It's a favorite amongst gentlemen and ladies alike.
Its classic pour has aromas of vanilla, caramel, and honeyed fruit. The palate gives you a little bit of sweet caramel, vanilla, and butterscotch. It's got gentle profile of baking spices and I'd say a little bit of toasted oak on it. But it's perfect. It's smooth, it's warm, it's slightly sweet, it's easy to go down, and it will, what I say, is something that you may want to come back to. So Maker's Mark is a great pour. What you think?
I think you said a lot, and I think it's time to test that theory about it being smooth going down.
Well, let's try it.
All right. Let's see, hold up. Oh, technical difficulties. There we go. Oh, sorry. Got a little ahead of myself. No, that is smooth.
And it is.
Smooth.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't give you that burn like some of them do. Now, I know I did mine on the rocks, but you got yours neat. So what do you think?
Well, for it being neat, it's no burn. It's easy going down. It's a nice smooth drink. You don't want to rush it. It has a good flow to it. So, and on top of that, it's number 46. It's meant to be smooth. Yes.
So, tell us about the cigar of choice today.
All right. So the cigar of choice today is, we're smoking Olivia G Series. So with the G Series is a Nicaraguan-based cigar. And not only that, the way it's aged, it has a great coffee flavor to it. So it's supposed to be coffee flavored with, you know, nuts, some nut infusion and stuff like that. Now get your minds out the gutter. But some nut infusion, and it's a mild smoke. So we'll see how this works out.
Let's see. All right. We're going to light up and partake and see where we go from here. It is. It's very mild. It doesn't.
It is.
I don't want to speak too soon, but it doesn't give that. It's not bitter. I like it.
It's funny because it's mild with almost a strong back kick to it. But it is a good smoke. I could taste a little bit of the coffee infusion with it, so it's a good song.
If you like your coffee black, that's what you get. You know, no cream, no sugar. It's just black coffee.
Straight.
It's just straight out, right at you. So what do you think about today? We got a really great guest coming, and I can't wait.
I'm excited. I think it's going to provide a lot of good energy, a lot of good conversation. So, I mean, I can't wait.
I don't want to give it up just yet, guys, but This one is going to be a ride, and I'm so glad. And we did things a little bit differently today because we just wanted to get this out of the way.
Respect for the guest.
And respect for the guest.
Respect.
Our special guest is next.
Don't go anywhere. Smoking Ice continues now.
Hi, I'm Kelly Allen. Join me each weekday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for Midday Energy Rush on Positive365.net. I'll bring you all your favorite music from every genre and every decade, plus comedy and positive thoughts all in one place. Go to Positive365.net and you won't be disappointed. That's Positive365.net. We're positively different.
Positively different. Positive 365.
On today's episode of Smoking Ice, we have a hilarious comedian, author, and former professor who's mastered the art in turning everyday life into comedic gold. From his unforgettable Insatiable Wife bit to his church-inspired alter ego, Bishop Secular. He's kept it real, he's kept it clean, and he's kept audiences laughing across the country.
Please help us welcome the one and only
Marcus D. Wiley. Welcome.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
First and foremost, man, with that wild but good introduction, let me thank you for stopping by. I looked at your dates, man. You're a busy man, so thank you for making time to stop by and see us, man. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me, for sure. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do things a little bit differently today and get right into it. So your father's a preacher.
Yep.
Grandfather's a preacher.
Yep. Pastors.
Yes. What made you not follow in that footsteps and not only go into teaching, but then on to comedy?
Oh, the church. No. No, it was just, as we say in the church community, it's a calling.
Right.
And I haven't received the calling that I hear other pastors or preachers say that they received. And so it's not that I just tried to go against it. I just never got the call.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, when did you find out you were funnier than most? When did that hit you?
I've been funny a long time, but when you're not getting paid, they call it a class clown.
Right.
So I guess to really answer your question, I knew I was funny when I got my first check doing comedy. When somebody paid me to be funny. And, I think that's what separates it. I tell my son all the time, class clowns get in trouble. Right. Comedians get paid. Right. Choose ye this day what you gonna be. You know what I mean? So right. Yeah, it's probably when I got paid.
I understood. So did you have any influences or was this just something that was natural for you?
Yeah, no, I never thought about being a comedian. I went to college, radio, TV, film. I'm thinking I was gonna probably be doing commercials, stuff like that, sitcoms, somewhere in that field. And then one day I was hosting something in my church, and the guy at the church was like, "Yo, you might want to try doing stand-up." And I was like, yeah, never really thought. I've seen comedians, but I never thought about it because I was like, I won't feel comfortable cussing in front of the masses, being on stage cussing. And he was like, well, don't cuss. And I was like, I ain't never seen no comedian do it without cussing. And so he sent me some tapes, and I saw some people who were doing it at that time. And then I knew, I was like, oh, then I think I could do it. So we tried it. He actually was my first manager because he the one who kind of saw the vision first. And then, and so from there, it was on and popping.
Now, was this before you became professor of comedy or after?
Before I became, getting paid, a professional?
Yeah.
It was all at the same time because when I tried it, the first thing we did, went to a little small town outside of Houston called Killeen. Just so I could get my chops, so I could get my feet wet, see if I can do it in front of people. Did it at a Chinese restaurant. That's why I always tell people, as the Bible say, do not despise small beginnings.
Right.
Because my first show was at a Chinese restaurant, and it was maybe about 60 people in there, 70 people. And then, but I knew that day I could do it. And then I got a real show, and it,
So wait a minute. Never heard this before. So people eating Chinese food and listening to jokes at the same time?
That's what they doing.
Man, that's a beautiful thing.
That's what they doing.
I like Mushu.
Wonton soup and laughter. Okay.
What they doing.
So clean comedy, sharp truth. How do you make it relatable to everyone? Because you know, a lot of people think, oh, well, it's just for a certain audience. How do you keep it where it's relatable to everybody?
Well, I think because I keep it real. Like, you don't have to, cuss or be vulgar to keep it real. What it does, it stretches me though, as it relates to trying to come up with the same type of punch a cuss word would have.
Right.
So I have to really be creative, with my wit. But yeah, it's, I wish I could cuss. Let me say that too. I wish I could cuss sometimes, because sometimes you want to tell the story the way I actually heard it.
Right.
So sometimes I heard something that had a bunch of cuss and profanity, and now I got to clean it up, and it loses a little of its authenticity. But at the same time, like I say, try my best to be as, as real and raw. Raw don't mean I got to be cussing,
right.
Because even though I'm clean, I still talk about sex. I still talk about drugs. I still talk about all the topics. I just got to try to find a way to do it in a classy, tasteful way.
And that makes it even better, because you're able to utilize that, and it still come out and it still be hilarious. So that's a great thing.
I appreciate it.
Now, when you talk about those type of topics,
Yeah.
how does that hit in the church community? Like, what's the reactions you get sometimes? Do some people like, oh, he talking about that,
Yeah.
or they just like cool with it?
Yeah, you get both, because
Right.
the church is full of both of those people, and so it's gotten better though. When I first started doing comedy in 2002, comedy in the church was still a little taboo. People were doing it, but it was still like you had to be one of those progressive churches that really received it. But now more and more have opened the doors. And so, when I get up there, man, if I'm in a church, I always come out and say something totally off beat, because I want to see what I'm working with.
Right.
So I'm going to say something thrown off immediately for them to, and so now I'm like, okay. But I think for me, because the people who know me know I know the Bible, they receive it better.
Gotcha.
From me. Now other comics, they may not, because it's like they may not know them.
Right.
So, but they know I'm good. I know just as many scriptures as you know. I'm one of you.
Right.
But I want to give you my real life. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So I'm glad you said that, because I watched The Insatiable Wife after 27 years on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious.
I'm declining physically. I'm not the man I used to be. Baby, let's do it again. And I'm like, no. I was the last bullet in that gun. I ain't got no more for you. Rap, Jack. Yeah. It got bad. It got so bad, man. When I tell you, it got so bad, I was this close to letting her have a boyfriend. I ain't lying. No, look. I was this close. I was like, he gonna get tired of you too. Yeah, you'll be back.
Okay.
I fell out laughing.
Okay.
What made you relate to that time in life?
Yeah, because it was happening. I mean, my wife, she was at a point at that time where she was just feeling herself, I guess, or whatever. And I thought we had passed that hill. I thought we done with, having have to do it every night or every other night. Man, we done with that. And then it came back around. And so I was like, bro, you need a boyfriend. I mean, I ain't there like that no more. So
you do know as women get older, that goes up high.
Yeah. So it was just what was happening at the time. And then, of course, fellas, we go to the barber shop. That's like my second church. We go there, and that's where we vent and talk about our wives and talk about everything. And that's when the guys were saying, yeah, man, you got to get you some of these pills. You got to start taking these pills. And,
Blue Chews.
Yeah. Well, at the time, they didn't have those.
Right,
it was just the regular Viagra, Cialis, Levitra. and then the gas station pills.
Right. The rhinos.
Everything with an animal name, you know.
Don't pay attention to the heart attack it might give you.
all
But
that.
don't worry about that.
Yeah. So, you know, I tried all that goofy stuff, and I'm telling you, it was definitely a time. And I'm glad, you know, I think we passed it, hopefully.
Okay. Well, has she ever insatiably tried to drop the mic herself?
Drop the mic? No, I don't think so.
She not ready for it? She not ready for comedy herself?
No.
Got it.
She don't even want to come do interviews with me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so now she kind of like just, you know, played behind the scenes a little bit.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So being married for so long with kids and just a family environment, that I know you can draw plenty of material off of that.
Sure.
Is that where you get most of your material from?
Majority of it
Gotcha.
definitely is the family, because, you know, I'm like a storytelling type comedian, and I just talk about my life. So that's what my life is, you know. I'm not in the club, so I can't give you no club material, you know. Not new club material. I can talk about when I was in the club in college.
Right.
But I can't give you nothing new. So what I can give you is what I experienced, you know, firsthand right now in real time. Right. And that's a lot of family stuff.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
All right. Well, you know, you're an author also. And in the book Hustle and Faith, you talk about how God rewards hustle.
Yeah.
Well, do bills count as holy motivation?
Bills. Bills and God. Those are the two things that are faithful.
Right. Yeah.
they gonna be there. Yeah, okay, how much money you get, you gonna have bills. So everybody think, I'm gonna give you some money. I mean, take care of these bills, you're just gonna have some more bills. I mean, you know, the bills, they keep coming. But yeah, Hustle and Faith, you know, book I wrote, and actually I don't want to say repackaged, but I wrote it in, I think, 2014. And then with this new success from Marriage is Major Surgery, man, the book sales and went back up. I mean, you know, it's just crazy how life works, you know. But yeah, God honors your faith, rewards your hustle. And that was, you know, that's how I felt like my whole life has been. You know, I've been faithful, but I've been working. And he just been rewarding that, been honoring it.
All right. Well, speaking of working, you were with Yolanda Adams, man.
Yes.
On the morning show. How did that come about? Because I listened to you. I used to love Bishop Secular. I used to listen to her, man. How did that come about?
Yeah, y'all keep talking about Bishop Secular is dead. I want y'all to let him let him rest. Yeah, pour out some for him. Let him rest in peace. He dead. But yeah, we did the Yolanda Adams Morning Show 15 years. How it happened was, and this is another thing, just show you how God works, how he faithful. Houston was getting an FM gospel station, 24-hour gospel station. We had one that was just on Sundays, but now this was finna be 24 hours.
Right.
And so because I graduated radio, TV, film, I said, oh man, let me get ahead of the 8-ball. I had been doing comedy now. So I put together me a show. It was gonna be called Sunday After Church Drive with Marcus D. Wiley. That was the name of my show. It was gonna be from like 2 to 6. So I was gonna be doing all the stuff when people get out of church. Hey, what y'all eating at? What restaurant you at?
Right.
What mama cooked? You know, you could call in, man, my mama threw down today. She, you know, I had all this stuff. Bishop Secular on there, you know, all this type of stuff. I take it up to the station. They didn't even listen to it. Didn't listen to it. Told me, hey, don't worry, man, the radio on something different now, blah, blah, blah. And I don't mind getting told no, but at least listen to my stuff.
Right.
And then tell me no. Yeah. Don't just know me. Cool. Fast forward. A couple of months later, they advertising on the 24 hours station, gospel station, the Yolanda Adams Morning Show is coming. Well, during that advertising time, I do a show that was honoring Yolanda. She being honored, I'm the host. That night I'm doing my jokes, man, Yolanda over there just dying laughing. So we at the valet, and she says, hey Marcus, nice meeting you, you know, you were awesome tonight. This is what she was saying, you awesome tonight. Keep doing your thing. She jumped in her Range Rover, pulled off. I jumped in my Toyota. Pulled off. Then they owned the air. But the comedian that they had, contract negotiations wasn't working. Right. So they started auditioning other comics. And she was like, man, I saw this dude. I would like to get up here to audition. His name was like Wiley, and her co-host name was Larry Jones at the time. He said, Marcus D. Wiley. She said, yeah, that's his name. He said, I got his number. So they called me early that morning. And she was like, hey, this Yolanda. I was like, Yolanda who? Because I'm in the bed with my wife. Yolanda who? You talking about Yolanda Adams. I was like, the singer? She was like, yes. I was like, sing something.
Right.
And she was like, boy, and they laughed. And she was like, how would you like to audition for being on this show? I said, I would love to. So went up there 3 Fridays in a row and auditioned. And the 3rd Friday, she was like, you're going to get the job. Now, the beautiful part of this was the people who did not listen to my air check that I made for Sunday after church drive, now I got to negotiate my contract via Yolanda though. And so now I'm in there and they late acting like she ain't know, like she don't remember me or nothing. And I really want to say something. But you know, that's when the Bible tell you, man, hey, I got you. Vengeance is mine.
Right.
You know, you ain't got to say nothing, you know. And so, yeah, we was on for 15 years. You know, the rest was history.
That was a blessing, man.
It was.
Blessing.
I listen to it often.
Yeah.
Well, you started off touring churches, hundreds of churches
Yeah.
across the United
churches
States.
embraced me.
And they embraced you. What made you change over to comedy clubs?
Money. So the churches, you know, the pandemic really showed me something. You know, the churches and the church has been good to me. So let me say this first. I don't have and I still do churches. I'm just doing more of the comedy clubs now. And church has been good. But the pandemic the churches had shut down. Well, this is how I make my money, performing at churches. I mean, up until the pandemic, I was maybe 90% in churches.
Right.
So when the pandemic hit and the churches shut down, what? How am I eat?
Bills.
Bills.
Yeah,
Bills going, remember us?
Yeah.
What's up? And so, and my friend Ali Sadiq, comedian, called me and was like, hey man, I know you ain't working that much, you know. Churches shut down, except these clubs open. And he was like, you know, but I can't pay you like the churches because, you know, I was doing good. He said, but I can put some money in your pocket. And so I started touring with him in the pandemic.
Right.
And so when I started touring with him, then I did a tour in the pandemic called Grown, Great, Forgiven. Then I did my own tour. I just called 50 churches though, and put them on the day. So I'm touring with him and my own tour. Because it's towards the end of the pandemic now.
Right.
I'm trying to catch up. Then I did Marriage Major Surgery. I wrote two specials in the pandemic. I called 50 churches, toured that, still touring with him. So now I done got myself back, you know, where we back above water now. And then his stuff hit, called Domino Effect.
Right.
And he started doing theaters. And so he said, man, why don't you come do the theaters with me? So I do the theaters. And then he was like, man, let me produce your next special. He said, do you got one ready to go? I said, yeah, Marriage Major Surgery. He's like, let's do it. So he put the date, he paid for everything, and he put it on there, and it's over 4 million views now. And so that's when the clubs now came to me now.
Right.
Like, I didn't go to them.
Right.
They reaching out, wanting dates.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so that's how I got into the comedy club. It wasn't that I pursued them.
Gotcha.
Once the viewership went up, once, you know, whatever you want to call it went up, then they started
Then
calling.
they saw you could put butts in seats.
Right.
Put butts
So
in
now
seats.
you
That's how it
were.
works.
Now you were.
Yeah.
With all this success, are you still doing churches?
Most definitely.
Most definitely.
I love the church.
So let me ask you a question. Have you ever what's one set you've been to, you was like, man, listen, nah. One church you've been to, nah, I need to get away from here. Like, have you ever been to something that was jacked up, church that was jacked up?
I mean, I'm sure I've had some, you know, but as long as that check clear,
Say no more.
yeah, I'm
Say
not
no
really
more.
tripping. I mean,
Say no
because if for whatever reason, I typically have a good time when I'm on stage.
Right.
I have fun. And, you know, I think the people do as well, but if just say they didn't have fun, that's on them, man. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You know, I prepared, you know, I put my best foot forward. If you still over there, you know, lemon-faced, whatever, that's on you.
Right.
But I don't think, but the churches, because, you know, I'm doing this thing now, I'm on tour now. It's called When the Church Met the Club. So that's what I call my first club tour, When the Church Met the Club. It's like I'm introducing me and my brand, my style of comedy to the clubs.
Right.
So now the people in churches got to come see me. And then my new people who just followed me, who just got with me from Marriage Major Surgery, they are in there. And so we all coming together, you know, and I'm just kind of, and it's very, I don't want to say the show is controversial, but it's definitely eye-opening, awakening, you know, because I'm talking about people out of church and the people in church.
Right.
Is it really the difference?
Well, people, I think over time we have made it a difference.
Really?
And that's the problem. We've made it like, you know, church and unchurched.
Right.
Well, and what I was really meaning is because sometimes the people in the church is worse than
Well,
the
see,
people in the
well,
church.
I refute the worst part. Here's the thing. I think people think it's worse because they in church. But people in church is for the worst. That's what the church, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when people say like, you know, man, it's people in church they be lying. Yeah, they are in there, hopefully, trying to work on it, trying to get better. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
You heard it here first.
yeah, it's like, you know, so that, you know, and I'm talking about a lot of that in my show, you know, because and I get it, because when people know you're in church, they have a certain expectation of you. And then when you let them down, like they God, you let them down, and they, see, that's the reason why I don't go to church. No, I'm not the reason you don't go to church.
You don't go to church
because you don't want to go to church.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And you know, and I mean, I grew up in the church, praise team, choir, all that stuff, different ministries and stuff like that. And some of the stuff I see, and you're right, and you just said it, but some of the stuff I would see sometimes, I'd be like, why? Now, why are you doing that? And you in this role?
Yeah.
And so it just would take me back sometimes. And I'm like, you know, we put so much judgment on people that are outside of church.
Yeah.
But we should be in here really working on ourselves to be an example to. And so that's a whole comedy special all on its own, which just sounds like you've done.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, when you're in church, especially when you're in a leadership position, you know, there's going to be a standard that you need to try to live to. You know what I'm saying? Which is fair.
Right.
And if you know, out here wilding out and you supposed to be this leader, you know, it's gonna come with what it come with. It's supposed, it should. But I'm just saying at the end of the day, man, these leaders, these are regular people too. Right.
Yeah.
They are affected just like anybody else. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard for people outside to see that. So you think just because I grew up in church, I don't see these women, I find these women half naked. So y'all think I'm blind? That I don't see it? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think over trial and error, over time, as you grow older, get older, mature, you make better decisions. But you take some little pastor who was a nobody, and now he got this big church because he's gifted in preaching and all this type of stuff. And now it's all thrown at him. Man, he got to learn how to he ain't never had this before.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so everybody crush him. Oh, pastor, he failed. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. You know what I'm saying? But this don't mean that his word and all this here was false, or that you know what I'm saying? He just got to learn how to maneuver in this new space he's in now. You know?
I thank you for sharing that, because I think people need to hear that, because listen, I don't know about anybody else, but I know some killers out on the street who went to church, and I'm glad they in church. I'm glad they're there now. The world, you know, it's a safer
and
place.
I just use women, but this with anything, with drugs, it's with alcohol, I mean, you know, whatever, lying, you know, whatever. Like, dog, you're in there and you trying to work on yourself. And I don't need an extra judgment. I'm already on me like, oh man, I'm tripping or whatever. That's all.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad you said it's not always women, because everybody,
Yeah.
it's because of women.
No, right. Yeah, that's why I want to clear it up, because I just use women because watch this. That's low hanging fruit. That's just an easy example.
Right.
But I mean in all facets. Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever dropped a joke that you thought was iconic, but the crowd was stiff? And if so, how do you recover from that on stage?
So I'm gonna say no, but the the crowds is really the difference.
Right.
Man, you can go to a show and the crowd is just ready for you, and everything you say is jackpot. But then there are some crowds where maybe they stood outside in the line too long. Maybe the weather was bad. Maybe the service in here is bad now. So now their attitude already is not the best.
Right.
And so now they're not like this other crowd you had that was ready. They more like, man, you better be funny, man. And so now you could drop that same joke you just dropped on the ready crowd, and this crowd is, you see what I'm saying? So it ain't the joke, it's the crowd. But as a comedian, you learn how to, okay, let me get their spirits together first.
Right.
Before I start dropping, all these jokes. So, you just kind of learn how to do it.
Gotcha.
You kind of come out, hey, I heard they had y'all out there. And yeah. Well, get your attitude, fix your face. You got to get that out the way and not through the jokes.
Right.
Because if you try to tough it out, then it's gonna be what you said. You dropping jokes and don't seem like that they going over well, but it's really ain't the joke, because you done seen the joke work 1,000 times. It's them.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were just recently at the Raleigh Improv, and you're currently on tour. Where are some of the other places for our viewers, just in case he's in your city, you need to go see him?
Oh, I'm in your city. I am booked. I'm booked right now, probably through July. Started in June, and I'm booked a year, through July. The tour is Marriage Major Surgery. You can actually go to my website, marcusdwiley.com. It got all the dates, on there, all the different cities. But it's a bunch of them. I mean, it's places I've never been, for the first time I'm going, to some of these cities. West Nyack.
That's in New York.
New York, right. I didn't know. That's what I'm saying. West Nyack. And I went to Syracuse. I've been there for the first time on this tour. And I think Hartford, Connecticut, just places that I wouldn't even be thinking about going.
Hey,
but
man, I don't like the face you made when you said Hartford, man.
You from Hartford?
Yeah, I don't like the face you made, bro.
I had a good time in Hartford.
Now I got to get the I wish you would face.
Yeah. But when I was saying Hartford, Connecticut, not that there was something wrong with Hartford. What I'm saying is like, I ain't never been up there. Y'all don't have a football team, a basketball team, a baseball team. You see what I'm saying?
Thank you for the reminder.
Let me remind
Insurance cover. Right? You need insurance, right. We got you covered.
So I'm saying Hartford, not that there was something wrong with Hartford. I'm saying I've never heard, of anything. So that's what I mean. Not that anything was wrong with it, because I got a check from Hartford. Right. That was cool. You see what I'm saying? So Hartford all right with me.
Right, it clear.
It clear.
For sure. Yeah. For sure.
All right, so you heard it here. If you didn't hear it anywhere else, go to the website for Marcus D. Wiley and look at all the spots. If he's in your city, make sure you go see him, because this guy right here is hilarious. And I don't just say that about anybody because he's here. I'm saying that because he is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have nothing to say. You saw the laughs here. What more can I say?
Well, listen, this has been another episode of Smoking Ice. We've had such a good time.
Absolutely.
We thank you again so much for coming.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
And we hope to see you all again. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tell somebody, because if you don't, we can't be here. And as always, I'm Kelly.
I'm Wayne.
I'm Marcus D. Wiley.
Let's
Let's
spark
spark
something
something
real.
We hope you've enjoyed Smoke and Ice with Kelly and Wayne. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Tell a friend so they too can be informed and entertained. For more information about the show, go to smokeandice.net.